A couple weeks ago, we covered a story on the Hearst Center's First 50 exhibit. A long line of residents stood outside the Hearst Center for a chance to display their artwork in the Hearst Center. Just last week, this exhibit held its opening reception. Shelby Gappa has the story.
Last week, the Hearst Center for the Arts held the opening reception for their newest exhibit, the First 50. This is an exhibit that has been done a few times over the years and has become extremely popular because it lets people feel like a professional artist. The name of this exhibit comes from the qualifications it takes for people to get their artwork in the exhibit. Artists only had to be one of the first 50 people to come to the Hearst Center with their original artwork ready to be hung. Needless to say, on the day that they were accepting the artwork, it was a long line. AJ and Silla were the first two in line when they came in around 3:30 in the morning. When you wait that long in line, you tend to make some friends.
We got to sit on the bench and be new best friends. People tell you things about their lives that you could never imagine. Because when it's early in the morning and you're full of coffee or not full of coffee, you tell all these artistic right brain things or left brain things or out of the box things to your pals and people you don't even know, and it's great.
Those who managed to get their work accepted to be part of the First 50 came to the opening reception with family and friends to admire their artwork in the gallery. Many have never even had their artwork on display in a gallery before.
Oh, I think it's great. Everybody's really excited. Just seeing them stand in line that morning, they were all, it was really a big thing for them, and getting checked in, and then they go out and they'd be beaming because their piece got in the show. And now this is sort of the fruition of all that. Some of those people were up at really, really early hours so that they could get in. And you can see that people are enjoying it. We've got a great variety of things. It's tremendous, just seeing all the talented people that live in the Cedar Valley.
Every piece of artwork told a story. AJ's story related to how she learned to read and started her love of comics.
This was my leftover paint canvas, and this is what I did with all the leftover paint. So it turned out better than I thought. I thought it was going to be random abstract. Next thing I know, my original character for a comic I'm writing is on the canvas, looking at me, and I'm just like, oh, you didn't. So I started painting him up, and it went from there. And so he's playing catch with his son, which is because Kern's a Naga, which is from Indian folklore. It's a human-serpent hybrid type being. They were river guardians, believed to protect against disease and stuff. And so he's a son who's a little dragon, and they're playing catch. Well, little dragons get excited. They can't control their fire breath all the time, so he has a burned-up baseball in one hand, so he has the replacement in the other hand. I've always loved telling stories. I'm very dyslexic, so I couldn't read till 9 years old. So comics were how I got my literature. That's where I got my stories, because I could read well enough to read comics. But by that, I actually learned to read using comics because I didn't have to read as much to know the story. And so I love writing stories with pictures, pretty much.
Well, it's a special piece for me. I had a very tough year last year. It's my last portrait of my husband, Paul, and I did it last year, and he passed on last year, but he liked it. And I never asked him, do you like this, do you like that? He said to me, he thought my art was a hobby for me, although I've been a graphic designer and art teacher and all these other things. But in his letter to me that I read after, he said that I was a great inspiration to him. And he recognized all these things that he never said to me, but he finally said to me. And the fact that he just liked the picture of him, where he went down fighting, and I was right there with him. Our last year was our best year, 33 years.
The First 50 exhibit will be on display until August 24th. Reporting for Cedar Falls City News, I'm Shelby Gappa.
Thanks, Shelby. The First 50 exhibit will be on display at the Hearst Center for the Arts until August 24th.